is a must. Winning is a must. Winning is a must. We welcome everybody. I hope we had a wonderful week. I had a lot to do, but thank God. Been waiting for waiting for the weekend. Now back to base, and I'm really excited about that. Before we start tonight, I just want to really encourage you. I want to encourage everybody. While I was in school, one of the one of the guys that we studied together, um, I think in my year 3, said to me that he will not be reading with us again. And I'm going to tell you why. There was a subtle competition among us, so that we wanted to be the best of the class. I'm talking about university. I remember that if 5, 10 of you are first class, the university is going to give it to you. Our competition was not to have first class alone, but to be the highest score holder for each of the courses. So you see somebody that is looking very sad when he scores 75 and somebody is scoring 82. So it became a bit of competition. I didn't know. And the reason for his own challenge with me is the fact that I was so involved in the fellowship. I mean, I started as an ESCO from year 1. Usually, you don't get to appoint somebody from year 1. You'll be in year 2 before you join the executive. But for some reason, from my year 1, I started serving in the fellowship. So I spent most of my time. It's a triangular life anyway. I go to fellowship, back home, then school. Just that triangular way of living. But these are folks that I rely on every, because when I come to class, I don't get to assimilate so much in class. It was a big challenge. In fact, the best of my friends in school were the alajas with hijab. Those ones with hijab, they will keep space for me. One of the things I try to do not to miss the class. But you see, everything that is happening in class, most of the things that is happening in class, I don't really get it. I'll just be looking at the lecturer. I mean, imagine a classroom of over 700 people. When I'm doing a joint, what we call faculty courses, we're like 1,002 of us in class. I remember in year 1 and year 2, they used to park ambulance at the lecture theaters, so that if anybody faints in class, they will have to pick them up and take them to a center. And this is a massive classroom. We can't call that a classroom, we call it lecture theaters. I know some people that attended private school. We have culture shock. you know, I went to visit a university, Houston, in Texas, and I asked that, where is the university? One building like this. I entered the classroom. He said, this is the faculty of this. I look at it. I'm not sure if they share my department into 4, the class can't take them. But let's leave that for another day. This is where I'm going. So I struggle in class. I don't even get to answer questions in class or anything. But I get to class, write down the notes if I can, just stay in there. But my major powerhouse is that I wake up at 3 a.m. to do personal reading till 6 o'clock, from 3 to 6 o'clock regularly. I mastered that time. I discovered that was my peak period of assimilation. Then this group of people that I have, about 6 of us, then we later expanded tutorials and all of that. But these 6 guys are like my power room. So all the things I don't know, when they begin to talk about it within our group, then I begin to understand clearly. Then what break that relationship at year 3 was because I will come to the group, I'm like the least person that have prepared for exam. These other guys, they have less activities to do in school. They were not really involved. I was involved in politics. I was involved in fellowship and many extra activities. Represented my school. You know, sometimes I would travel out of school for like 2 weeks to go and represent the school. Then he became angry because when the results are out, I will always pass and score more than them. And the conclusion was that I was actually not sharing knowledge. I would just come as if I don't know anything, and I will listen to them. They read, they will be the one pouring and all that, and then I'll go and pass very well. He opened up to me at year 3. Thank God he didn't do it in year 1 or 2, because year 3, the whole thing was dissolved. So I had to resort back with reading with other people who are not studying my course, because I still needed the group to be able to be a support system. Now, the reason I'm sharing this with you is that you may struggle a bit in class. Some of us are not good following everybody. And if you notice from the beginning, because we are recording, we didn't allow people to ask questions within the time our tutors, our coaches are teaching, so that when somebody else is looking at this, they can follow through from the beginning to the end. I will dedicate one of the sessions when we are rounding up finally to take a lot of questions. And of course, if you come into the education group, you have opportunity of asking questions that ordinarily will not have somebody to answer you. There is a dedicated place there. And then the resource material is there also, where you can sit on your own. Fine. Adult education is not easy. Trust me. My level of concentration and concentration too, when I was still in the university, is totally different when I was off campus, because you now have so many things that is trying to get your attention, including social media. So you got to encourage yourself that you still need some time to yourself to go over the videos. Somebody, I was asking yesterday, and somebody said he has watched those videos 5 times. That is incredible. My life mentor, which is Pastor Adeboye, he said something passively when he was preaching one day. He said while he was in university, he will read his textbook at least 3 times before he go to write the exam. I'm not sure I've ever read any of my economics textbook 3 times. Thank God for success. But you can imagine if somebody dedicated his time to read 3 times. So I want to challenge you. Weekend is coming. You see, most time we want 2 hours, 3 hours time to be able to look at these things. You may not have it. If it is just 30 minutes that you can chew, and that's one of the habits I learned from my elder brother. He's not someone that can sit for 5 hours reading. I can do that, but he doesn't do that. He will just take 20 minutes, 30 minutes, do something else, come back. You see, by the time you accumulate that time, it would have been tangible. Imagine that this weekend you decide that you're going to have 30 minutes twice this weekend. By the time you are ending on Sunday, you would have done 4 sessions. That's 2 hours already. And you may not be able to do 2 hours on the stretch. Do me a favor. Go and watch those videos. When you hear a particular concept and you don't understand it, you can go on YouTube and find out about that particular thing. You can even ask AI to explain that particular thing to you. And the moment you get it, you are just on point. Before coach will speak to us tonight, I just want to show you something. We talked about liquidity yesterday, and this, I was airborne, and then as I was landing at the airport, I already marked that area. I just want to show you. Already marked the area. I just want to show you that these things are not impossible. These things are actually real. They are very real. Let me show you real quick. Now, what I'm
so let's just quickly do a recap. Let's just see if I can quickly do a recap. So let me hide this real quick. Let me see if I can hide this real quick. And if you are wondering, I'm very, very strong. So from yesterday, I'm better than yesterday. So that's for that. So yesterday we talked about liquidity, and in liquidity is just what moves the market. If I bring my $2,000 into the market liquidity is what moves the market. Liquidity simply means money. It's $2,000. It has $2,000 more liquidity. If you bring your $10 or if you bring your $100,000, the market has $100,000 more liquidity. We have more liquidity. Liquidity is like the fuel of the market. Liquidity moves the market. Money. If I bid $5,000 and you bid $20,000. If the market is just between me and you, the market is going to sell because you want to sell and I want to buy, and your money overshadows mine. So you are going to take my $5,000, so you are stronger than me. So that's liquidity in the market. So liquidity is everywhere. But we have taken liquidity apart into different zones. So in this context and in this class, I differentiate liquidity into 3 places. If you're not here before yesterday, try and watch the videos for that yesterday. So liquidity, we have 3 liquidities. We have inducements and we have what? Engine together moves the market, protects your zones, tell you where to enter. Everything is interconnected. Structure, liquidity, they talk about PY, right? PY is our next. Now I'll show you the course. So now we have, guys, I already showed you yesterday, but I'll still show you that and engineer liquidity. And to align with your structure, in Forex market, we don't predict. We don't predict. Don't try to predict. Yeah, a profitable trader reacts. An you cannot move the market no matter your money. If you like, put one profitable trader tries to predict $1 million on the Forex market, you will not move the market. Because why? Because as the case may be, all these things you are seeing here, your broker actually is not even sending your trade to the live feeds. But your broker is so liquid that your broker can pay you your money. You know that you can pay your one. You don't need the feed. You trade the real Forex market, but you're trading against your amount of 1,000. They can pay your 2,000. They can pay your the money you put. You cannot, right? So is the push the market. So instead, you try to. It's what moves. It's what manipulations and what and engineering. We have what move this. We have market. Have this breakup. Now you see this had a break of structure. Automatically, since this has a break of structure, automatically you know that this is what this is an inducement. Have another break of structure above like this. Already, this is an inducement. Except we have this remains an inducement. If we have another break of structure like this, we can also have a double inducement, but that's further. But as long as this class is concerned, this is inducement. Unless we have another break like this, because we are still. So now let me delete this again. So now I go again. Since we have this as a break of structure, we expect market to take out this low. We expect market to take out. So this becomes our PY. So this becomes inducement. So once market takes this out and give us another break of structure, like I said before, this is another break of structure. This becomes a manipulation. This becomes a manipulation. This becomes a manipulated low. This becomes a manipulated low. And this is also a PY you can actually enter your trade from, right? It's also a PY, but this is manipulation. We normally put manipulation with X. That's not we, just me. I normally use X for my manipulations. Why I use $sign for my liquidity. So now, if you want to buy, you don't buy or sell from inducement, but you can buy or sell from your manipulated zone. Now, manipulated zones, I want to make sure I familiarize you with the names. You see manipulation, they call it liquidity sweeps. Liquidity sweep simply means a zone that market has taken money from. So that zone that market has taken money from, market is more likely to protect those zones. Now let's go back to structure. I told you about strong lows and strong highs. Now your manipulated zones are mostly strong zones, strong lows, strong highs, while your inducements are mostly your weak lows and weak highs. I go again. Once you have manipulation, such a low, you have manipulation and you have a break of structure. Don't forget that. Once you have a manipulation or you have a break of structure, that becomes a strong low or a strong high, which market will come back into, either by using engineered liquidity or by using another inducement. Now, what do I mean? This is a strong zone. Market can come here and break structure. Automatically, this is inducement. Like I've said before, this and this is the same thing. This here and this here, it's the same thing. But why this is different from this, though would not represent this, that would not represent. Let me just represent another stroke here. So let me say something like this. Let me say something like this. You can see that this is different from this. Why? This one did not take out this low, right? So manipulation did not happen yet. But you see, this and this is the same thing. But this and this is not the same. But this is a valid zone because we have an inducement, and this is more valid because we have manipulation with inducement. This doesn't have manipulation, but it has inducement. Fine. But this has inducement and manipulation. Are you getting the differences? Are you getting the differences now? Now, this, it doesn't mean you cannot buy from here. You can buy from here because what your inducement is present. And like I said yesterday, inducement is more like a fake move before the main move. Fake move before the main move. Now, when the main move happens, the main move is the main move, which means this leg, once you have inducement, you can see enter from this leg to the high again. So now, once you have something like this, market has confirmed to you that it's ready to buy. The next thing you do is you place your limit here. Market has agreed with you at this point that yes, I'm agreeing with you. I want to enter. I want to go up. So you put your entry here. Market comes back, tap into it, then we move above. Now you can see that everything I've been explaining here is just inducement and manipulation, inducement and manipulation, inducement and manipulation, inducement and manipulation. Now let's now put engineered liquidity into the context. I'm still using the same structure. I'm not going to delete it. I'm still using the same structure. Now let me still use this inducement. Now let's talk engineered liquidity. You know, in this place there's also manipulations as well. This is also a manipulated leg. Now let's now talk about engineered liquidity. Now you see this market now coming back from here. We did another break of structure. No, market is not coming back. Market is not coming back. Now you see this. The market failed to break above. This low becomes engineered liquidity. This low becomes engineered liquidity. Even if market breaks above, now even though market breaks above like this is still engineered. You cannot call this inducement. Why can't you call this inducement? Because you can see that it's so close to the lows. It's so close to the lows. So you cannot call this inducement. This is also an engineered liquidity. Why is this engineered liquidity? Because it still breaks structure to the upside. Now this is more like an advanced engineered liquidity. Now we still use this low. So now do you see the difference? This is engineered liquidity. This low is an engineered liquidity. Now do you see the difference? Engineered liquidity is different from inducement because inducement actually breaks structure. Inducement actually fails a high. But you see engineered liquidity, it doesn't fail a high. The high always holds. Market will tell you, this is where we talk about fake moves. Like I said yesterday, it doesn't matter your money. If it's $1 you are bringing to the market, they are interested in your $1. As long as you are wrong. All thing, the market is never wrong. You are the one that is wrong. Accept that you can be wrong. As I am here now, I can be wrong. I will accept it. I'm wrong, and I will move on. You don't fight the market. The market is always right. The market is like God. if I can use that word. The market is like God. The market decides what happens in this space, as long as this space is concerned. The market decides what happens. You cannot direct the market. You only follow the market. The market is more like a moving train, or let's say a train. When a train takes off, it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter. Let me say, maybe you miss your way. The train will still be going to where it's going until it gets to where it wants to get to before you cannot change your direction. So the market is always dynamic. You don't fight the market. You cannot change the market. So what we are doing is we now find a strategy that we can use to align ourselves with the market. That is it. So once you accept that you are wrong, at times you can be wrong. Your strategy is not 100%. Sometimes you pay the market. Sometimes market will pay you. That is that. So that's just me just going a bit, just diverting a bit. Now, engineering liquidity doesn't break above. So once market doesn't break above, and your buyer still tells you, you see manipulation here, and you can still see that this engineering liquidity, then the next thing you need to just do is you now know that with your own knowledge and your strategy and your rules, you will know that the next thing is for you to set a limit here. Because if a low cannot take a high, that low will be taken. If market wants to buy and we don't have enough buyers to break that high, we will come back to take more money. So that coming back now will fail anybody that is here. We are just coming back to retrace, to take more buys, to take more orders that can help us to fuel markets to break above. So this low is engineered liquidity. This low is inducement, and this is manipulation, and this is manipulation. Do you get the difference? This is the same chart, the same schematic I used. Not like yesterday that I was breaking it. This is the same schematics. This is the same schematic. The only thing now you can now work towards on this is using your nearest QI. Because once market is here, you can see a fair value gap and you can see an order block. For me, if I'm to advise you as, by the grace of God, a coach, by the grace of God, a coach, if I'm to advise you, I would say use order blocks for now. You're going to miss a lot of entries. You're going to miss a lot of entries. But I would say use an order block for now. Why I would say use an order block? Because you don't really have this discipline yet. You know, fair value gaps are always something. We're going to go into the next topic. That will be next week. Me and Pastor will talk about the dates then. We'll talk about that. Now, this is going to be fair value gap. Fair value gap is always before the order block. Why I would say use the order block is because once you use fair value gap, if you don't have that discipline, once your market hits your stop loss on the fair value gap, you will be always tempted and you will enter from the order block again. Which means instead of 1% risking 1%, you've just successfully risked 2%. And that is where psychology kicks in. Go back and take your money. Go back, and it has done me in 2024. I lost about of my own, not about flipping. Yesterday I told you guys about flipping. This is about my own money, about $1,000, $1,200 or thereabout. That was, I funded that money. It was my money. It was my money, not money I made from the market. I funded it, trading gold. I know that I don't know what I was doing. I know what I was doing. I knew that I had to enter from here. I entered from the market, took me out. I entered from the other market, took me out. That was the end of the whole journey, because I just kept buying. I just kept buying without no reason. I just kept pressing buy. And the market kept selling, and me, I keep pressing buy. And just like that, in a space of 25 to 30 minutes, $1,200 was gone. And what was I doing there? How did I get that money? $1,200 was gone. So it's not like it will not happen to you. It will still happen. But that's why I say just stick to the order block, because if you enter from order block, you cover your low. You cover this low. You cover this low. You cover this low. Why I made that example? Because so that you cover this. It will how will I say it now? It will scatter your brain, or it will just because I don't know, it may make you lose, you might stumble onto tomorrow. I don't want you to like be compounded in one place. You still have to like expand or explore as the case may be. Now, that's what we call a fair value gap. Now, look at this. Now, this is what I just needed, inducement. Now, inducement, once we break structure, this was my nearest POI. Anything will be my problem. Anything, when I have another break of structure, again, when I have another break of structure, again, then I will now start thinking, okay, maybe, or maybe not, markets will snub this. Then I will now look for another thing again. Okay, let me buy from here. But as long as that is not presented, this becomes my POI. It doesn't matter if I hit stop loss or not. It doesn't matter. What I need to do is let you give me what I want. Once market give me what I want, I don't think twice about it. I go into my trade, set my limit, and I go my day. I go with my day. Though it's not that easy, though it's not. I'm saying like it's easy. I'm not sure. Because that's the impression I don't want to give anybody. That this thing is not easy. Trust me, it's not easy. Yeah, I don't want to give that impression. Please hold on, excuse me. Please just give me 2 minutes. Please hold on, I'm still with you guys.
Yeah, sure, coach. We are waiting.
Yes,
now, yes. Coach talked about the candles.
Okay, I'm coming. Please let me get some.
Yeah, go ahead. If you miss the class on Monday, the link is on the group. I taught on the candles, different types of candles, the bearish candle, bullish candles, the different patterns of the candles. If you miss that class, you can go and pick up the link is on the group, on our SOWFx group, and then you can watch that video so that you can familiarize yourself with the candles. I also gave you the candle Bible in a snapshot just by looking at it. It's already on the group too. Go there and check it. You will find it very useful. Trust me. All of these things are already at your disposal. If you have the ebook, you will see everything is detailed in there that you can also study. It's already there. Please make use of it to really help you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, sorry,
Coach,
I'm back. Yes, sorry, I had to get water, sorry. All right, so now what I needed was, I just needed an inducement, and if market refused to give me that, I will not enter, and still I will not go to 5 minutes to say I want to trade. I'll still not go to 5, I still will not go to 30 minutes because I already have what I'm looking for on 1 hour. You know, I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday. On Monday, I did not see any entry. Tuesday, I did not see any entry. Wednesday, I did not trade nothing. Thursday, yesterday, I did not enter any trade. Now, today, I had 3 trades. The market gave me 3 options to trade. And of those 3, this is one. I'm still going to take you guys to the rest 2. And all of them, I made profit from all of them. Now, you see, that's the beauty of Forex. Can you be patient to wait for the market to give you what you want? And also, the worst case scenario, market might not give me anything throughout the week, and I'll still hit 3 stop losses today. That's the beauty of Forex. That doesn't mean my system has failed. It just means I'm paying my dues. I have to pay school fees to the market. Now, you can see why I'm targeting here. Why am I targeting here? I'm targeting here because this is an old high, and also this is a manipulation. You can see this manipulation, then a break of structure. People will be ready to sell from here. I'm targeting their stop losses because I know market goes into old highs and old lows. You can see I'm not totally targeting everything. I'm not greedy that I'll drag this in. Market can still come to this high, but that's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking, my system tells me, go into the nearest old high, which is this. And this is 1:5. If I reach a $30,000 on this, $30,000 times 5, you calculate it. You see, so if I get this just once in 2 weeks, now tell me why I should be bothered. I shouldn't be bothered. I shouldn't be bothered about. Let me not even say, okay, if you make $100 from this in a week, $100 is about $100. I don't know. They say dollar is coming down now, so $100 is about $100 should be about 130,000 naira. or 120,000 naira in a week. I don't know. That's above minimum wage, isn't it? I don't know. I might be wrong because I'm not sure. But in a week, if you make that, but it's not going to be constant though. It's not going to be constant as well. But at the end of the day, can you be patient to wait for? First of all, you need to know what you are looking for. Then can you have the patience? Because if you are online, you will see people buying, people selling, people making profit. That's not what you want. Your own is you want to build your system. You want to make sure you are accountable to your system. Let your system tell you something, you do it, and let you breathe with your system. I'll put it that way, right? Let your system direct you. And when your system is stop loss, don't say, this system is not working. No, you will not win all the time. The only time you will not have problem with your system is when you now when you're not taking too much losses. Then you now have to review your system and be like, okay, what is the problem now? What is the problem with my system now? Right? That's when you have problem with your system. Okay, what am I looking at now? You can see that this example was for inducement. Now, like I said, once inducement is taken out, that zone becomes manipulation. Now, this is manipulation building. As long as market keeps going until we break structure, automatically this low becomes a manipulation because we have taken out into this is a manipulation zone. Now, the next thing I need to now do is there a valid order block or fair value gap? Currently, there's nothing valid. You can see that there's no fair value gap, there's no order block. If you want to take an order block, is this whole big candle now you will take. So as long as we hit our target, you can now look at, okay, can we now go back? Then this low becomes what? Our hunt point. And also, why did I now still use this? This is also a key zone. This was a resistance. Now this resistance turns support. Though I'm not going to be teaching you guys support and resistance. I think that you can, I think Pastor can take you on that, support and resistance. So you just know, that as well. Then demand and supply as well. Demand and supply is more same thing as other blocks. Other blocks is more like Gen Z demand and supply. The new school kind of, we call supply other blocks, demand other blocks as well. Understand? So it's like Gen Z kind of stuff like that. New version. So now let's go to gold. Let's go to gold. Let me now. This was the only trade I sent to the private community. This was the only trade. Now, even from here, yesterday I asked you guys. Yesterday, if you were here with me, yesterday I told you guys this box was for A, and there was something here was for B. This other box, let me delete this. This other box was for B. So you see that it's not like I'm telling you jargons, right? Now, yesterday I told you guys that what I was waiting for was this POI, because here was inducement. Market failed to take the inducement, and this was somebody's strategy. Some people must have bought from it because I said on Twitter, people buy. They are not wrong, because market confirmed their bias for them. You can see now this was engineered liquidity. This low was engineered. Why was this low engineered? Because it failed to break the high. So I was waiting. Through yesterday, I did not take anything. I was waiting for market to take these two people out. Market refused. Like I said yesterday again, and I told you guys, nothing is 100%. And I said, market can still continue from here and keep buying. And you can see what market did. And once market break above, and you can see this clear manipulation. Once I see it, as I woke up, I saw this clear manipulation. Then this is where, when market was coming back, this is where I dropped the trade. This is where I dropped that, okay, when this 1 hour closed, I'm going to take it. 1 hour closed. It did not close the way I like. Why didn't I like this closure? Because there was no wick. Look at this. There was no wick. There was no wick on this black candle. I wanted a wick. Now this other one just took out this low. Then we continue. Now let me now show you guys something. Though I did not send a third trade, it was still on this gold. I did not send it to the private community. Now you see this. Now we have once market refused to come to this low. Now you can see that we did another break of structure on 30 minutes now. We did another break of structure. Me actively in the market on a Friday. Now I saw this, we did a break of structure, and I'm like, market, maybe I'll snub this, but I still had my limits. Now and I see an inducement. You can see this. And I saw an engineered liquidity, because this is not an inducement. This is an engineered liquidity because it failed to take this high. Then you can see a clear POI from here. Do you see this clear POI? Do you see this clear POI? This is a clear POI. I set my limit here. Put my limit here. Put my stop loss just below here. Right? Where was I still targeting? I was still targeting this place. This is my overall target in everything. Even this trade I'm in currently, I'm still targeting here. Now, I did not send this to the private community now. Now, I enter this trade from here. Market took me all the way to this point. At this point, I took profits. I did not take everything. I took 2% off. I took 2% off from here. That's why I was saying I had an accident, and still I was able to make money from the Forex market. And not to brag, please not to brag. Coach knows me. I say, Pastor knows me. Not to brag, right? But from this position alone, I made over how much today? I made over $30,000 today. From this position alone, right? Now, not to brag though, but you can look at it. But now you can look at it. Look at this, but you can look at it. After having an accident and all, still be able to just look at the computer and still print such amount of money from it just by this move. This is notwithstanding what is currently still running. Because I took partials from here, 2% off, then move to break even. Still leaving this my limit in case anything wants to happen, which market triggered me, and I'm still currently in this running trade, and I'm still taking some partials from this, and I'm still going to hold it throughout next week until Monday or stop loss or because this cannot be longer be stop loss. This is a worker now. You are just normally you are working and you had normally as Nigeria concerned, you have a business. You had an idea, you cannot work, but you cannot go to your store. With customers come and pay. No, this is the beauty of what you are coming into. You are your own boss. There's nobody that's you. Market agrees with you. Market will pay you. I've done my withdrawal. Let me just use my own personal experience again. This is the way I teach. You know, my wife is angry with me because she has warned me severally that stop driving anyhow. The accident I got, it was my fault. It wasn't the person. I bought somebody's auto and I had to repair the person's motor as well. I had to repair mine as well. It wasn't the person, it was my own fault. Easy for you to say yes, it's my fault. Once you have understood yourself, it's my fault, you easily accept. If it's some people now, they start shouting, hey, but it was my and you know women. You know woman. I know I'm still going to put this out there. I'm still going to put this out there. In case you are still single, you have not, make sure you marry somebody you fear. Not fear like God fear. That's for me. I don't know whether pastor will not agree with me, but marry somebody that can talk and you'll be like, okay, no problem. Yes, ma. You know, if apart from your mother, I think your wife is the nearest person to like a man should actually, I will not say respect, I will say fear, but let your wife respect you, but you fear her. Because you know, let me not go far. I'm not a marriage counselor, but let me not go far. So, and now I've made 30,000. Like, notwithstanding what's already on the account. I know women are materialistic. Now I can go and appease the gods from what I've made today. I can go and appease the gods. Because like I believe they say man is the head of the house. I think that's for just people outside. If I think that's just for people. People might not agree with me. I'm not saying we are not here to talk about marriage and all that. We are here to talk about Forex. But for me, I believe the same man is the head of the house. I don't think that's the truth. Man is just a member of the house. I think the woman is the head of the house. I don't know. You might not agree with me. Though except the head of the house is given to you by your wife, like she gives to you, like by respecting you, of course. So that's that. Now, but you can see the beauty of the market now. You can see the beauty of the market. I had an accident yesterday. but still I was able to make such amount of money. Calculate it to naira. You can see. Okay, let's bring it down. Even if I make $500, that's over 400 something thousand. You can appease the gods. You can say, you can do something romantic and say, well, okay, you understand. That is the beauty of it, but it's not easy. I'm not going to say it's easy. Today I can sit down and not make, throughout this month I cannot trade again, but no problem. I've already made money and this trade is currently going. How many I might lose next two trade 5,000. I'm still left with 20,000. Do you see it? That is where risk management now comes into play. That is a trader talking to another trader now. I'm not talking to you as, maybe I'm talking to you as a guardian, but a trader to trader now. This is where the beauty of the game, but for you to get to this beauty of what I'm talking about, I know most of you have imagined, wow, 30,000. Most of you have already pressed calculator and all that, but for you to get to that point, there's a lot of hurdles. So it's the earlier you sit yourself down and say, okay, this is what he said. Inducement, let me wait for my inducement. And also, I would like to advise you guys, because I'm already winding up. If you don't have a job, please get a job. I will not sugarcoat it. Forex will take you. Forex is not something that is what you give to Forex. That's why people say, Forex is scam, because you cannot be hungry and come and still be trading. I don't know. Except I don't think that's not my doctrine. I can never encourage you to something I'm not used to. I cannot direct you where I have not worked. Get a job, a stable income source of stable income. Let that income be funding for it, because you are going to be losing money for the starting. You are going to be losing money. You are going to be losing. If you like, let me not go down. Let me not say that. You will lose money. Get rich short. You get rich short. In game. There's a lot of all those psychology where you psychology. First, what's your weaknesses? First, making note. So please, whatever train you guys here on it and try to work with it. Let this for that. This just not inducement, engineer liquidity. So if your entry ideally you're going to be trade, this is where you are supposed to be. You target the market coming from.
Sorry, your network is breaking, so
and they are very okay. 1-to-1. If you reach you make $2, and they are doing okay. This very ideally.
Hello, coach. Okay, I think he's been thrown out. He's having. He was breaking at some point. I think he's currently out. Guys, if you can hear me, just give me thumbs up. Give me thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay. Let's see if we can get him back. We are almost done already. Just for him to wrap up. Let me see if he can rejoin.
Hello. Am I back? Can you guys hear me? Sorry, I think it's
Yeah,
network.
you're back. You're back. You're back. Yes, it's you out.
I'm very, very
Yes, sir.
sorry for that. I'm very, very, very sorry. I'm very, very sorry. Can you guys hear me? Can you
Yes,
guys hear
sir.
me?
Loud and clear. Loud
Yes, sir.
and clear.
So as I was saying, now you see, ideally, this is where you're supposed to, this is 1:2, but it's just because of our greed and knowing our understanding of price. That's why we try to target where we want to target. That's why I target here. And why am I targeting here? Old high. You can see old high. Old high. That's what I'm targeting here. This is old high. That's what I'm targeting here. And once market comes into this point, I will also take another partial. Once market comes into this point, from this my moving zone, I'll take another partial. So we know where we must target as well. Now you can see that. So everything you are doing, don't just enter random trades. It's going to be hard at first, but make your mind just know that, okay, no matter how hard it gets, I'm going to try my best, right? Don't enter random. The biggest killers of forex traders is always impulsive trading. Impulsive trading, revenge trading, FOMO, fear of missing out. You are missing out nothing. If your strategy there, you don't have to guess it. If you see your strategy, you don't have, I will never guess my strategy. If it's not my strategy, it's not my strategy. If it's my strategy, it's my strategy. So that's what I just want to like bring out for you guys, right? So this trade and this one. Now, why did we enter this second one? Now let me explain this second one real quick before we go into this. Now, the second one, why did I enter this? Now you can see from yesterday, we had this order block now. Now you can see a clear manipulation. This order block did not say we should enter, but you can see a clear manipulation. This manipulation was inducement taking. We break structure here. You can even take it as engineer liquidity if you are looking at this high. Right? If you are looking at this high, now you can see a clear manipulation happen, which is that my X, and you can see that market reacted into Malaysian support and resistance as well, but I'm taking this whole candle as my order block. Now the next thing now, you can see this is my inducement. Original inducement, though market come back here, take us and think market, okay, I'm snubbing this, and you can see the whole push. This was 1 hour candle. This is one of the simplest trade I've ever taken. I would say that is one of the, because I never know when market triggered. What I just knew was I saw an alert that market is crossing this, and as I came back, I saw profit. Market was already somewhere here, and I moved my point to break even. That was it. And this is what we traders, this is what we pray for. Traders, we don't like market to come into our zone and start doing like this. No. Traders, we hate that. If you want to move against, we move against. If you want to move in my favor, move in my favor. Don't waste my time. But this is one of the sweetest trades I've ever taken. Sweetest because I did not know when it entered. I did not even know when it left. All I knew is that I opened empty for, and I was seeing profit already. So these are things you get accustomed to. These are things, sometimes if you come into consolidate, you still leave it. Doesn't mean you close it. Doesn't mean you close it. So guys, with this, we've come to the end of liquidity. Now I've put in POIs. This is POI. I've already talked about fair value gaps. The next thing I'm not talking about is breaker blocks. Breaker blocks, something like this, a breaker block. Demand fails supply. That supply that was failed becomes what? A demand again. So in our subsequent classes, which we actually have 2 positions, I still have 2 classes with you guys, which is next week. Then we round up all this. But before I go, I just want to say this. You might see a lot of information outside. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong with us, and not everything is right. But I want to put this to you guys. You have the biggest work to do. Me, I've already sorted myself out. I can come and talk and talk and talk and talk. But you have the biggest work to do for yourself. You have to change your own self. The change you are seeking for, you have to put in the work. If you think you want to be like me, you have to study like me, and you have to know like me. For you to have to know like me, you have to take years, or you have to take a year or some months, because some of you might be definitely smarter than I am. You understand? And Forex is best loser wins. Those that can actually take a loss are the ones that actually win in Forex. Be comfortable with losing. If you lost one position, like I would say, get cold water, drink it. Make sure you finish the water, calm down, reanalyze again before you enter trade again. So I will leave you guys with that particular point. If you enter a trade and you hit loss, drink water, cold water, finish it, calm down, reanalyze again, and don't go lower time frames. Let your time frame not pass 1 hour. From 1 hour above, you can look for your inducement, look for your liquidities, look for your POI. We are not talking about POI. First of all, you look your structure, you look your liquidity, then you look your POI, then you enter your trade. So I will leave you guys with that. Next week again, by the grace of God, I will catch all of you again. So I wish you guys happy weekend. And by the grace of God, God will also, shower your brains and open your ways. And what I cannot teach you, I pray God shows it to you guys, because it's not everything I can actually teach you guys. So I appreciate everybody for coming, and I appreciate our coach one more time, our pastor one more time for this initiative. So thank you guys, and God bless you, and good night. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Coach. Guys, let's celebrate him. What a night. So it's good that you are also hearing directly from him. Like, all the things I promised are happening already. When I first started posting up, because if you know anything about me, I'm a very reserved person. I don't like to show off. I love to just be in my own corner. I love people to underrate me, and then I will show them that I'm more than what they think I am. But when it comes to the area of forest space, transparency is involved. I don't post those results um to spike anyone or to show off. It's just to let you know what is possible. Like I said, there's an account that I can't even post up anywhere. I can never post it up for no reason. I can never post it up. I deliberately, because of this project, started the accounts that I'm showing you. Those two accounts. I call one the fuel account and the other one. And I was very transparent from the first class we met and show you the progress. How I opened up your Excel to let you see it. I have closed today from that $800 account I showed you. I made over 3,000 plus from that. This week alone, it was over $600 I made from it. I have withdraw $1,006 from it. The account is still sitting over 2,000. On the other account, is well over $23,000 now on it. I made more than $12,000 from that account. All that has started this year. And the people that joined me on Monday, just this Monday that we started, I started posting their results. You can see it on the group. It's not to spike anybody, but just to let you know it's possible. So, and you hear the coach. Coach is just being reserved to you. If 2% is $30,000, what is 100%? These are very humble set of people. They are not, you will not see them with Ferrari or screaming on whatever, because you see most of those guys that are making noise there, they are just getting people's fund. They are not disciplined. And I've said it before. Gave my money out. I was there within the 4 days. My money was gone. I watched them blow up my account within discipline. It's not like they didn't know the Forex. They have their strategy at least, but they have a lot of liquidity to play around and come to make a lot of noise. While you are learning this, you can make money. I can help you make money while you're still learning. Chat the admin, join that group. Let's start trading together and begin to make money. Thank you so much all for joining us tonight. So this is where we are going to end. Ensure this weekend you give you some time to also do so a bit of learning. Go and watch all of the videos. Coach, I'm discussing with Coach when he'll be available next week. But on Monday, I'll be there. I will show you the charts, help you set up some of those things that we need to set up ahead of the next class that we're meeting with him. So on Monday, 7:30, I will be up. Please join me. Price action that I started, we'll finish. If you have any question, also bring it into that class. Be able to address everything. We're just 6 classes away to finish this. Make sure you create that time. And after that time, you can sit with yourself and do whatever you want to do with this knowledge. I'm hoping that by June this year, somebody will be able to be proud of over $30,000 in his name, in his own name, just by focusing on making 1%, 2% every day consistently. The Lord will help us. Enjoy your weekend. Let's have a wonderful night. God bless you all. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you very much, sir. God bless
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
sir.
We are so
Thank
grateful.
you. Thank you so much.
God
We are
bless you,
grateful for
sir.
this opportunity, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're all welcome.